Hey class, this is Mr. Rec. If you haven't already done so, please read Forest on Fire before you do this activity. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the strategies that I personally love when I'm reading. This is the strategy called model asking and answering questions. You might not realize it, but while you are reading and your eyes are scanning the words, you're decoding the words in front of you, your brain is doing something that we call comprehension. This comprehension is something that you are able to improve and develop. And as you get older, it tends to get easier. But you might not realize it, but mentally, you are making sense of what you're reading by kind of analyzing and creating questions for yourself. We want to do this specifically and deliberately so you can help train your brain to be better at comprehending what you're reading. Okay? So there's a little trick to this. And this week's story, Forests on Fire, obviously deals with forest fires. And we want to just point out why this is important, why this strategy is critical to have as a reader. It says, when you read, you can ask yourself questions to check your understanding. Asking questions such as what just happened or why did that happen can help you look for answers. You can also ask and answer questions about the whole selection. Now, if we were in school, your teachers would be stopping in the middle of a reading to ask you a question. It'll be a discussion question or something specific in the text. And we do that on purpose because we want you to know that stopping from time to time to ask those questions just checks your understanding and it gives you a chance to comprehend some main ideas and key concepts from the text. This is something we'd like you to be doing on your own, which sounds kind of weird because you're used to getting those questions from a teacher. But here, you become the teacher. You're teaching yourself. And even on your own, reading by yourself, you become the person asking yourself the question. All right. So it might sound kind of funny, like talking to yourself, but basically that's what you're doing. All right. So the first thing says, just taking the first part of the story, it says, as you read the selection or the section, destructive and productive, use the ask and answer questions strategy. Highlight and write about details that help you answer the question. What is the main idea? All right. So if you're reading this section over here, you come to the end and you kind of say, all right, what was the main idea from this part of the story? Okay. So it says destructive and productive, like rainstorms, wildfires are a force of nature. However, unlike rainstorms, wildfires are almost always destructive. They consume everything in their way, including plants, trees, and animals. Sometimes they take human lives and homes as well. Like a big storm, the destructive power of wildfires is terrifying. On the other hand, naturally occurring wildfires are also productive forces. Whether their flames race through a forest, a prairie, or acres of brush, these fires produce necessary changes in their environment. Like rain, they can allow new life to flourish. All right, so in this case, the heading at the beginning is a really big clue because if I click here on the Think Aloud cloud, it's going to say, if you ask yourself the question, what is the main idea? Hopefully you kind of realize that these wildfires are both destructive and productive. All right. If you look at the details, such as how wildfires in the forest or prairie produce necessary changes, this helps support that main idea. Sounds pretty simple, but here's what we'd like you to do. Okay. We're going to have you try it with this section, benefits of naturally occurring wildfires. All right. So imagine you're reading this part on your own and you get to the end and you ask yourself a question. Okay. So here's what we're going to have you do underneath here in Blend. I'm going to have you, in a short answer, create two questions that you could ask yourself from this part and include their answer. So you're going to ask and answer your own question, but I'd like you to do two of them, both from this section here. So use this part in your story. It's called Benefits of naturally occurring wildfires, you're going to find it right here at the bottom of page 339. So if you go back to Connect Ed, you can read that. And I believe you might have to also flip the page. So you get to page 340. All right, so good luck, guys. Ask and answer 2 questions from this part.